Hey everybody, welcome to the 46th episode of World Building with DMDave. I am DMDave. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you already aren't, and enjoy the ride. Today, I want to do kind of like a soft reboot on my campaign world. I've had a request for a while for patrons and general fans of mine to recreate an old experiment of mine called the Neverending Dungeon, where essentially I would like spend time creating a dungeon that never ends. I was previously doing a Megadungeon using Dice and Logos' maps, but like I said, I hadn't licensed those and those weren't available. However, I do have a pretty good relationship with Tim Hartin. He owes me a couple maps, which I joke. I mean, I buy maps in advance from him, and I'll buy like 5 at a time, but I don't know which ones I want yet. So I thought I might start with a random map from his collection. He creates a brand new map once a week without fail, every Friday for the last 6 years. So that's what, 300 maps. Pretty cool. I've just picked a random map here, which I thought looked cool. I don't know anything about this map, about anything that I want to do with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to download it, fix it up, draw it in DungeonDraft, and start building it out one room at a time. So the first couple episodes of this new segment of World Building with DMDave is going to show you how I can get a map and get it sized right for DungeonDraft. And then I'm going to trace it in DungeonDraft, and finally I'm going to put it into Roll20. Once I have it in Roll20, I'm going to start building out the individual rooms and writing those one by one, and doing that once a day until pretty much I've got it finished. So this will probably take like a grand total of, I don't know. Let's see, how many rooms we got in this thing? Looks like there's 31, so 34, 35 days worth of content here for you to swallow. As I'm going, I'm going to be asking suggestions for all of you on what to do with certain rooms. I want you to give me some ideas for different things, because the thing I always do with my Neverending Dungeon is that there's no real like ecological like reason why certain things are the way they are. I just do it because it's fun. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this map from Tim Hartin. I'm going to buy a high definition version of this, so he actually sells it through Drive-Thru RPG. You will probably see me black out for a moment because I don't want you seeing my my credit card information here. Alright, so I have purchased the maps from Drive-Thru RPG, and I'm going to go ahead and download the zip file that comes with it from our friend Tim Hartin at paratime.ca. As soon as that's finished downloading, I'm going to open it up in Photoshop and tweak it. Alright, so Tim's map packs usually come with multiple versions. He's got one with numbers and no secret doors, numbers and secret doors. Let's go ahead and do numbers and secret doors. And he's also got a black mode and a white mode. Let's go ahead with the white mode. So I want number as D, which is right here. This is going to be the version I want to do. I'm going to take it into Photoshop real quick, and we are going to edit this so that it fits in perfectly into Photoshop. Tim's maps, like, he didn't always do them sized perfectly for VTT, so we have to do a little bit of adjustments on this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make our canvas a little bit bigger. So canvas size, I'm going to do 2660. Oh, that's image size. And I've got this memorized. Feel free to copy it down if you end up using his maps, but 2660 and 3290. Those are divisible by 70, you'll note. Then I am going to resize this one right here, and I'm going to do it 108.5% to 104.5. 108.5 by 104.5. And if my calculations are correct, you will see that his lines line up perfectly like I want. The next thing I want to do too is I need to double it in size from there. So I'm going to go to image size. I'm going to do percent. I'm going to double it 200%. Get the right size. Okay. And then I'm just going to save that as a JPEG. We'll call this Tim Hartin map. Let's call it Neverending 1. And I'm going to put it in my adventure folder. And if you are a patron of mine, you will eventually end up with a copy of this finished map, which will be pretty cool. Neverending Dungeon 2021. This is the third attempt I've made at making the Neverending Dungeon series. Let's hope this one is actually successful. I think hopefully making some videos for it will be conducive to me getting this done. Alright, let's open up our DungeonDraft. If you don't have DungeonDraft, you can get it from DungeonDraft.net. I think it's like $25 for a lifetime license. It's a pretty cool little dungeon building tool that you can use. All the stuff that I did there in Photoshop too, you can probably do without Photoshop. It's just I made it a little bit easier for me to use and build off of. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and create a new document. I want to make this, let's make it 50 by 60, no, let's do 80 by 100. It's pretty big, but his maps tend to be big, and they are also usually 10-foot squares. At least that's the way he designs them. You can change them to fit any way you want because his maps are pretty versatile, but I figure that's what I want to go with. Let's go ahead and open up our trace file here. So to go back real quick and show you what I've done, I went to our settings, I went to trace image, picked the image that we had set in there, and now it's really just a matter of adjusting it. You can do that with the scroll wheel, or you can do it with this guy here. I think I need to be around, if I remember correctly, it's like, that looks pretty close. That might be it. So 3.64. Nope, a little bit off over here. Oops, that's because I'm moving it. If you hold space bar and drag your mouse around, you can check the edges. You can see it's a little bit off as it gets further. So let's crank it up one more. Let's do one more. Make sure we get it nice and perfect. I think that's it. Looks like 3.66. Got it to the size we want. I'm going to zoom out by holding the control button and scrolling. We're a little bit off on our edges, so let's get this lined up like it's supposed to be. You see we've got a little bit of room on the sides, but that's fine. We can trim that in post-production. But we've got the start of our map here. Let's go ahead and save it already. Great app, but does crash a lot. So we're going to call this Neverending Dungeon 1. We have got the start of our map. Let's go ahead and start with room 1 if we're going to start drawing on this. The trace feature is really cool because it allows you to like use a pre-existing map and draw over it using their color tools. So if you've got like a black and white map like this or something that you've got from donjon.bin.sh, you can redo it and make it all pretty and colorful. If you're going to be a professional creator on Dungeon or like Roll20 or something, it's really helpful for that. So I'm going to grab my building tool, which is going to be under this first tab here on the left-hand side. Building tool is going to let me create both walls and floors at the same time. I want to pick Smart Stone, and I'm going to pick Stone as my wall. So Smart Stone is my floor, Stone is my wall, and we're just going to start drawing in our shapes. So all I'm doing is highlighting the shapes that exist and making them come to life. I'm going to do all the easy ones first, and then we'll work on like some of those, like the triangles and stuff that we can't do with just by drawing a box. And it's pretty easy to do. You can see all we got to do is just draw in some shapes. and then connect them. All right, so we've got the main boxes drawn on here. Now it's a matter of just putting in the not so nice and clean shapes. I'm going to do that using my this heart right here, which allows me to draw more random shapes, and you can see it's just drawing a matter of like connecting the points on the map. They won't all be perfect, but I'm not going to lose sleep if it's not exactly like the original design was. Maybe Tim will yell at me, but I think he'll be fine too. Diagonals sometimes can be kind of a pain because they don't always want to line up like they should. You know what? I'm going to do a diagonal from here. Nope. There. I think that's pretty good. You know what? We can turn off. Let's turn off our snap, and we'll just do it from corners like this. Bop. 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 And we will say, that's good enough. I'll turn it back on for this. See if I can. There we go. Boop. I'm just going to finish these out. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, so I've done all the weird diagonals and stuff. Now that's all that's left to do is for the caverns. So to do the caverns, I'm going to go ahead and grab my cave brush tool. I'm going to select kind of a basic size here. I'm going to keep the ground color and the wall color kind of the way it is. You can also change the size of your brush here by choosing your brackets. So I'm going to go ahead and let's start off actually where it breaks in through here. So we're going to do this and draw our first major entrance. Like I said, don't forget to save a whole bunch. Nothing worse than having it crashing and losing a ton of progress. And you can see I'm just going to draw right around our barriers here. Get them nice and neat, or at least as close as we can. Kind of fun having a little bit of a cave in here. I really love the kind of like the different styles here, because when I start adding in different sections of maps as we grow this Neverending Dungeon, it'll give me a lot of opportunities to add stuff like, you know, maybe I want like a cavern section coming off like here, or, you know, I've got a natural staircase that leads somewhere, or a natural hallway that leads off map. It gives me a lot of opportunity to use different random and interesting maps. This is going to be a first level adventure too, so, you know, a party can go in here and they can kind of like cut their teeth on the easy stuff, and as they get tougher they can go deeper into the dungeon. Maybe I'll even make it like it's a world unto itself and like once you go in, the only way out is through the way in which you originally came. But we'll see. For now I'm just drawing dungeon rooms. Alright, so we have drawn pretty much all the basic outlines of our new Never-Ending Dungeon. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like with the trace file off. You can see pretty nice and neat, a little boring, a little gray. That's okay. We're going to color it up and put in some fun things and some of the extra walls and stuff. That's probably what I'll end up doing next in this video. I think I've gone on a little bit too long with this one. I should have divided it into pieces, but here's what you can do for me. I'm going to go ahead and draw in the walls and stuff and get that ready, or at least get some of the more basic pieces out. But I want you all to tell me down in the comments what you think should be in this first room right here, room number 1. That's going to be the entrance to the dungeon. Yeah, give me some one-word prompts down in the comments below. Anything you want, any random word. Just make sure, one, it's clean, no proper nouns, and it's just one word. Yeah, I like to work off one-word prompts and build off that, and then I'm going to roll randomly to see what the chamber contents and everything else is about this segment of the dungeon. But anyways, I hope this was informative for you. Just to recap, we picked a map from Tim Hartin's website, ended up buying it off of Drive-Thru RPG. loaded it up into DungeonDraft, and I've already traced everything out. Next, we get the fun part of stocking the dungeon and creating our Neverending Dungeon series. So, anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment below with your one-word prompt, and yeah, we'll go from there.